Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, Smokey, what you seen, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think, and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all.
What's up? What it do? We is back.
We made it.
We made it. Smoke dog.
What up?
What number is it, vote?
This is 53.
He got it right. Smokey, you've been doing good with your Spanish.
You got it wrote out right here, man. I don't forget it now.
But do you know, like, what's 58?
58.
What's 44?
44.
So this podcast has kind of helped you learn a little.
Yeah, it's improving my Spanish.
Here's a question. Do you know what episode we started doing that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're starting to run concurrent with me
Yeah.
now. Anyway, y'all, welcome everybody back to the 53rd episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. And we have an episode today.
We do. We got a scary episode today.
Smokey brought something to my attention. And I think we should get into it. But before we get into it, Smoke Dog.
What up?
Let's get into some good old-fashioned trash talk. Booyah!
And the crowd goes mild.
Mild, not wild.
No, we're going mild today.
Let's go mild today.
I'm scared, man.
All right. Smokey walks in the house. I'm downstairs playing Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Smokey he'll pick up a controller, but he's not the best at holding a controller.
Yeah.
But when it comes to coaching, he'll tell you what play to pick, what defense they're going to run, what they're going to do. He's great at coaching in Madden. So we're down there playing some Madden right now.
Well, you know what they say. Those who can't do, teach. So you can be a coach.
Right.
You know? The best coaches were never the best players, per se.
Are there any good NFL coaches that were good that ever played in the league?
Jim Harbaugh.
He played in the league?
Yeah, he was a decent quarterback, yeah.
What about his brother?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But Andy Reid was a decent quarterback.
Andy Reid?
Yeah.
Fat Andy Reid?
Bruce Arians.
Wait.
He's fat too.
Andy Reid was a quarterback.
Yeah, let me make sure. I mean, this was before my time, but
You talking about big fat Andy Reid?
Yeah.
There's no way he was
he's
a quarterback.
an offensive genius.
There's no way that guy was a quarterback. He looks like a walrus.
Well, you've seen Bruce Arians, right?
No.
Tampa Bay's coach. Used to coach the Cardinals. Coached a lot of places.
Maybe. But while he's looking it up, we're down there playing, and he walks in, and he comes at me and says, we try to pre-plan the podcast before we get on. And he's like, bro, what are we going to talk about today? And I asked him the same question. I'm like, what are we going to talk about today? And he brings up some interesting things that are happening in China right now. Some things that would probably freak you out if you live there.
It's scary.
Yeah. What you got on the?
Uh,
I want to know if Andy Reid really played.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
For the sake of the podcast.
Yeah.
You can show me later.
Okay, maybe I was mixing him up with Bruce Arians, because I know Bruce Arians had the second most running yards as a quarterback for Virginia Tech. He held the record all the way up until Mike Vick.
Really?
And took it, yeah.
Wait, Andy Reid is the coach for the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, he's got Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, of course.
And he was a quarterback, and he played. What team did Andy Reid play for?
BYU.
College. I mean,
yeah. I'm trying to think of NFL. Where did he play?
You want me to give you three options?
Yeah.
Oakland, New York, L.A.
Oakland?
L.A.
It was L.A.?
He was a Los Angeles Rams.
Wouldn't that have been during the time when the Raiders were in L.A.? Or was this after?
I have no clue. I just saw him and he had on a Rams jersey.
I can't find his playing.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Where's the playing career? I can't find it.
And his wife is cute.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're getting off topic
Either
here.
way, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Man, China, if you really look into China, you know how in America we have our credit system.
Like your FICA score.
Yeah, and your, what do they call it?
But yeah, the big three that monitor your credit.
Your credit score.
Yes, exactly. TransUnion and things like that. So China has taken this a step farther where you have a social credit score where they monitor everything you do in your life.
That's crazy.
And keep a tally of how good of a person you are. This is running as we speak. And let's say you go outside and you walk across the street illegally. Well, they have those facial recognition cameras everywhere that's keeping track of everyone. As soon as your face is on camera, they know who you are and they tap into your social credit score. Anything you do illegal. If you talk too loud in public, that takes off your credit score. If you argue with someone, that takes off your credit score. If you buy things that they deem as bad things, as unreputable things, that takes off your credit score. You can add to your credit score by
That's what I was going to ask you.
snitching.
What? All right, keep going.
That's the big one. I mean, if you want to improve your credit score, you see someone commit a crime, you report them, they'll boost up your credit score.
And what is this called? A social
Credit score. I'm sure they have a technical Chinese term for it, but basically it's a social credit score.
So, all right, they have it to where if I walk across, if I jaywalk, that brings my point down.
Yes, you lose points.
All right, so
if you throw a cigarette butt out,
you lose.
I mean, buying cigarettes is already going to bring down your score.
Right.
But if you litter, you throw it out on the street, that brings down your score.
So, all right, now I'm wondering, okay, first of all, when did this start? You know when did it start?
Not exactly. Well, I think the inception was 2001 or 2.
All right, so let's say
But they've improved the system all, throughout, with the facial recognition software that they're using now. It's so easy for them to keep track of everyone, and they combine that with your social media and your online habits.
So, all right, let's say it started in 2001. Does that mean, okay, all across the board in China, everybody has the same social credit score? Meaning, let's say everybody's at a 500, right?
Well, yeah, I think in the inception, yeah, it's something like ours because it ranges from 3 to 900.
So is it the higher your social score is, are you good?
Yeah, you're a better person.
That's fucking freaking crazy. Excuse
It
my language,
is,
guys.
man, and it's ridiculous.
And does littering take the same amount of points off as cursing somebody out?
I think those probably are pretty close. I wouldn't say they're exact same.
Right.
But, I haven't read what each individual
Like the point system.
Yeah, exactly. But
okay, so something else is, I don't think y'all understand what he's talking about here. Like, imagine you going outside right now. Imagine you I'm not gonna say hate, but you don't like your next door neighbor. And he walks out and he's like, "Hey, Fred, hope you have a good day at work." And you play it off, "Hey, hope you have a good day too." As soon as you walk by him, you're like, "That piece of crap, son of a gun." That brings your score down.
That does.
And
as long as it's recognizable through their software, yes.
Right. And in turn, that your score being lower, just being a normal, because these are normal human behaviors.
Yes.
This is, I mean, I don't care what people say. People talk crap about each other.
Yes.
That's just human behavior.
Yes.
So if you're going to talk crap about somebody, in China, that could prevent you from getting a house, just from being a normal human being.
Yes. Yeah, you do too many things that are deemed socially unacceptable, and yes, you're gonna put yourself in danger of buying or renting a house, of getting a job that you want, or and one of the biggest things is actually complaining about the government itself.
Are the Chinese, do you know if that they're aware of this? Are they aware of
Yes. Oh yeah, they're all aware of it. Yeah. And the thing is that they're finding is that the people there speak good about it. They like it.
Well, yeah, because they don't want to.
Exactly. The people who have left China and moved elsewhere
hate it.
Come out and tell the truth about it.
That kind of sounds like they're adopting North Korean tactics, because that's kind of communist.
They do. I mean, it is a communist state.
Is it really?
Yes, they call themselves a republic, but it is a communist state. It's what do they call it? Where there's a certain word. It's not socialism, but it's where
Capitalism.
But anyway,
Dictator.
it's a total totalitarianism. Basically, is what they're headed for.
Tyranny.
Yeah, it's tyranny. That's what it is. And I mean, it's basically forcing patriotism onto your citizens and forcing them to be robots. Basically, you have to act within this certain small criteria that we deem acceptable for you to be a decent person. Now, there's a little more freedom than North Korea would be, because North Korea, they don't even give them the internet. But
there's no internet in North Korea?
No, the people are not allowed to use the internet.
Well, they have internet in China, but it's limited.
It is limited, but they monitor every single thing you do on the internet.
Okay.
Every person has their own profile of everything you've done on the internet, and now they've added to it to where everything you do in public off the internet is part of your profile.
Wow. Man, I got so many questions right now. Mm-hmm. All right, the first question: do they rent houses in like?
Yeah, China is so packed.
It's so weird
that people actually pay to rent cages, like in a kennel. Like you actually pay someone just to go stay in a tiny little cage overnight.
What?
You get up and go to work. There's so many people in these large cities. I mean, people do have houses. You know, the richer people will have houses, but so many people. I mean, you're talking about 2 billion people in China. That's
crazy.
It's almost 10 times what we have here. You know.
How many people are in America?
Almost 400 million.
And is China bigger or smaller than America? Smaller.
Well, spatially, it's a little bigger. But
China?
Yeah.
Not Asia.
No, China. China itself. We could bring up the comparison of size.
Man, there's so many things. So, like, okay, I'm about to throw a left curve to you right now.
Okay.
Kids, cover your ears right now. Have you ever watched Chinese porn?
Yeah.
Have you noticed
that? Maybe not. I've seen Japanese.
Okay,
well, and certain Asian, but
a lot of I'm almost positive. Okay, what I'm saying is you watch some Asian porn.
Do they allow? Yeah, Asian, but I don't know that they even allow it in China.
Well, there's Chinese porn stars.
Ones that have come to America.
No, there's. But this is my thing.
Yeah.
You've watched it before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How come you notice how some is blurred out?
Yeah.
Is that part of like you can see the boobs, you can see the act, but you can't see the parts?
Yeah, because they still think that that's a little too far, too graphic, you know.
It's porn.
That's
I wonder if that has anything to do with the social credit score, like.
Well,
and
if you frequent porn sites, then you're definitely going to take away from your credit score.
Well, what if you are the porn star? Is that a bad thing?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this up.
Dude, this is deep here. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
I've never actually sought out Chinese porn. So
are you Googling Chinese porn right now?
Let's see.
Trust me, there's China.
Okay. Pornography in China is strictly prohibited under Chinese criminal law. Those producing, disseminating, or selling sexually explicit material must be sentenced.
So porn is illegal.
So it's completely illegal, yes.
I'm telling you.
So if you were found looking at it in China, then you're going to be persecuted. Yes.
So you can't even make it?
No.
That's okay. I'm telling you, I've seen Chinese porn before.
It's probably
Japanese.
Fake, or it came from a different Asian country that they labeled as that for Americans.
I've seen Korean porn.
Maybe so. Well, South Korea is basically Little America. They have, basically everything we have here. I mean, we went over there and fought for them to have that.
Right. So, wow, dude. Now, here is another brain teaser because of the whole. Okay, it's illegal to watch porn.
Mm-hmm.
you get judged off of normal human activities, talking bad about somebody, littering, throwing a cigarette. Okay, here's a crazy one. Have you ever heard of a gay Chinese person? I'm sure they look down on that too, right?
Yeah, that's got to be grounds for persecution also.
That's crazy, dude. China. I thought North Korea was bad because North Korea, if you don't speak highly of Kim Jong Un, you are gonna get.
It's a lot like Germany was under Hitler.
Yeah.
And China is the same way. I mean, China does give them a little more freedom, but not that much when you really look at it. I mean, they let them go out and do this, but they're keeping track of everything they do. If you really want to go on social media and complain about what the government is doing, you're allowed to do that.
In America.
In China, but you're going to take off your score. Now, the problem is that's just the tip of the iceberg. The problem is they're eventually going to get into such an algorithm, just a intricate algorithm, to where they're going to be able to prosecute people before they do the crime.
Minority Report type stuff.
Exactly. That's the problem. And why is it scary? Because in America, we are already keeping track of everything one does online, and we already have facial recognition software. That you can be tracked at all points of the day at any time.
In America.
Yes. Now, we do it for capitalist reasons, so that they can better sell you ads and the products that you want to personally purchase.
Or are they?
Well, that's the problem. At any time, they can flip the switch and use them in a different direction.
What was that? There was something in America not too long ago where they were like, something big came out in the news about, yes, we are going to monitor you. It's like something to do with Edward Snowden and...
Well, yeah, they already... I mean, that was the whole Edward Snowden thing, is that he personally told everyone that you are already being monitored.
Right.
And it's common knowledge now. Now we all know it.
Yeah, pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Dude, here's an experiment for you guys. Open a YouTube account, fresh, brand new, create a brand new YouTube account, and just search for flowers. Every video that you gonna show up in your feed is gonna be flowers. Then close your phone and just talk to your friends about Colombian coffee. Colombian coffee. Oh, I love Colombian coffee. You pick up your phone, at some point you're going to see an ad for Colombian coffee.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Because your phones already have the technology to pick up your voice and things that you're saying in your daily life, and so that it can give you targeted material.
Here's my thing. With China doing all this, is that... All right, well, first of all, let me ask you this. Can anybody see what your score is?
Yes.
Okay, so... There's like a website that says...
Yes.
But I'm sure...
anyone... if this was China right here, I could go online right now and see what your score is. And it will tell me right up front what your bad habits and what your good habits are. And I could do that for your neighbor.
Isn't that invasion of privacy? Do they not have like a...
No. Well, man, think about this. That's definitely invasion of privacy. But they don't have that freedom of privacy. Now, we don't either anymore.
Well, they say we do, but we really don't.
Exactly. Yeah, because anytime you get a targeted ad, that's an invasion of privacy.
You're right.
But every time you open up a new app, there's terms and conditions.
And nobody reads it.
Nobody reads them. There was actually an experiment done. I forget who it was, but they actually planted this giveaway into their terms and service of this app that everybody was downloading. And it said somewhere, if you read through the entire thing, that you win a certain amount of money. I think it was like $10,000.
Wow. Just
by calling this number and telling us you read this line.
And nobody read it?
It took 6 months for someone
to
claim that prize.
I bet he was some nerdy kid.
Probably so.
Some YouTuber that actually was like, hey, let's read it.
Yes. Dude, it's ridiculous because you give away your rights. I mean, technically, under the law, under the Constitution, we have those rights. But every time you sign a disclaimer, you give away those rights.
So, in China, with them doing all this surveillance, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because let me say this: you don't hear about mass shootings in China. You don't hear about mass rapists in China. You don't hear about mass pedophiles in China.
But it's also
excuse me.
I mean, yeah, that could be. I mean, that could be looked at in a certain way as a good thing that comes from it. But would you rather live as basically a slave, or would you rather deal with there might be some weirdos about in your population?
Well, going off of what you said, there being weirdos in our population, that's basically America.
Yeah.
Right now, that's you basically just described America.
See, if they get a weirdo, they're gonna know up front
you're a weirdo.
And take it out.
Right.
Yes.
But see, over there, they don't really have those things. They don't have these crazy people. Is that because they know you're being monitored?
Yeah.
So is that a good thing? If they had that in America, does that decrease? Like, hey.
Yeah, it's definitely going to decrease, like the mass shootings and things like that, because they'll be aware of it up front, you know. But it all comes down to how free do you want to live your life?
Are you okay with that? Let's say the president comes out, Donald J. Trump comes out, and he says, listen, guys, we're going to adopt the same philosophy and the same social credit score that China has. I've already passed the bill. Are you okay with it?
No.
Okay, you realize that you're basically already doing that now, though, with the user agreements.
Yeah, well, it is to a certain extent, because, yes, they are monitoring the things that we're doing. But we also have the freedom to not buy what they're selling. We don't have them actually flipping that switch to where they're prosecuting thought crimes.
Right.
We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with, I went 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, now I can't buy a house.
You know what's crazy? Technology is getting so crazy. You take VR. You know, virtual, you put the thing on it, you're literally in a whole nother world.
Yeah.
What if virtual reality gets so real to the point where you can play a game where you put this headset on and it's a real live place, not real people, but you're in a real setting with real people, and you have the choice to walk up and shoot somebody in the head? What if they say, listen, this is a real life scenario and you chose to shoot this person in the head. We can prosecute you just because off of what you just did in a virtual reality setting. How do we know that you wouldn't do this in a real life setting?
Yeah, well, that's what they're dealing with in China. That's where they're headed.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. Because I guess this kind of goes back to explicit lyrics and music and watching movies that are explicit, because that may actually be an outlet that stops some people from doing it.
So instead of me actually going out and murdering 10 people, I'd rather do it in a video game.
Yeah, or in a song.
But you thought about doing it.
Yeah.
So that thought's in your head.
Is it better to get it out that way, or is it better to keep it pent up until someone explodes?
Good point. Is it better to...
Because you really can't stop the masses from having thoughts like that, you know? Let's say 1 out of every 50 people has a thought about killing someone. You know, it's better to give them an outlet to get that out than to let them pin it up until they explode and kill someone.
Wow.
And there is no foolproof system.
No, but it kind of is, because if you look at, do you know, like, when you see, and this could be a portrayal of the media that the media gives us. You ever seen a homeless person in China? Like begging for money with a sign?
I don't know how they treat that. But I mean, there's people living in cages.
Isn't that by choice, though?
Well, I mean, are the people living in the ghetto by choice?
Good point, Smokey. He's doing it again. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's more of a circumstance. You know, you're a victim of circumstance.
You're a product of your environment.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than, yes, like even here, if someone's brought up in the ghetto, you do have the ability to get out, but not everyone has the ability to get out. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not everyone has the mindset to get out. But even there is so many people that there's not enough space and houses for people to get out of those situations.
Does the one child law still is that really a thing?
Yes.
And for people out there who don't know what that is basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're only allowed to have one child in China
per couple. Yes.
Huh. All right.
Because they're extremely overpopulated. When you have 2 billion people in a country,
yeah,
you know, roughly the size of America or however big it is. Let me silence this.
Back in the old trash talk days, y'all remember we would silence our phones, but now it's just like, hey.
I forgot all. I usually do it on every show. I just forgot this time.
Yeah, actually, I think that was more me than you. Yeah, man, and not only that, bro. All right, you know how you said you're a product of your environment. When you, I'm not being racist here. I'm not being maybe I am being a little stereotypical, but not in a derogatory way. When I say, hey, I have a friend coming over and he's Chinese. He's from China. Mm-hmm. What is in your head? What's your first impression of what he's gonna look like?
Well, he's gonna be short.
That's all I wanted to hear. Short. Now, why is he short? Is it because he's a product of his environment? Is it because there's so many people, they're crammed in, they're in these tight places?
Well, genetics play a factor in that also. But when you have that many people in a place, there's only so much nutrition one could get, you know.
But then you take people like Yao Ming.
Well, that is acromegaly, though. That's a dysfunction of, you know, a tumor on the pituitary gland that causes them to outgrow, you know, where they should. But if you're malnourished, you're gonna stunt your growth.
Man, and in China, you have certain, like, you can't. Have you ever heard of? Oh my God, I'm about to blow your mind, and you probably know this. All right, the top 3 cell phone computer providers in the world. Do you know what the number 1 cell phone provider in the world is?
Apple.
Great. You know what the number 2?
Samsung.
Do you know what the number 3 is?
LG.
Huawei. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's China, and apparently it's almost close to beating Samsung and Apple.
I would believe it.
I mean, it's like they say it has the best computing power, the best RAM, the best processors.
They have another one called Xiaomi. Yeah, they do. I mean, their technology is great in China.
Man, China's so weird, dude. Have they sent people to space?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because dude, China's a weird place, man.
I mean, when you think about the space race, you only think of Russia and America.
Right.
Yeah. But they may have. I mean, they definitely have the technology to do it.
You know, I was thinking about when you said they're basically listening to you. When you ever send emojis on your phone, like let's say you send me a thumbs up emoji. Mm-hmm. What color is that emoji?
Yellow.
Well, you know what color mine is?
Brown.
How do they know that?
Because for one, you probably have said somewhere in some application online or something that you are an African American or mixed or whatever. Right. You know, so they're gonna automatically set your profile on your phone to something that resembles what you are.
That's crazy. If an Asian does it, they're yellow with, like, the faces, they're yellow with slanted eyes.
Yeah. Why do white people not get a white one?
You have a white one?
Is it? I thought it was yellow.
I bet yours is white right now.
Let's see.
If you bring up a face, I'm
gonna text you.
But do a face.
An emoji. Okay.
Make it a face emoji.
Yeah.
You're going to text it to me, though. Don't send it to me on Facebook so I can show the people on the camera. And this is just crazy because how do they know? Like, I've heard that people say, man, I don't have any white emojis in my phone. Well,
no, these are my emoji faces.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
let me go.
Do a thumbs up.
Okay, so if I do the people,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The people.
I just sent you. If I do an actual person emoji, that's the color I get.
Let's see. All right, so Smokey's is a person with circular eyes, not Asian. Now I'm gonna send him one, and let's see.
Yeah, they're definitely yellow.
So, all right, here's what my emojis look like when I send you a person. Did you get it?
Hasn't come in yet.
That's a
no. That is not real. That is not your irregular emojis, man. That's a joke.
I sent him a picture of a monkey.
That is not cool, man.
All right, let's see. Real spill.
I
here.
sent you one back.
That is funny. Okay, well, looking at I guess it depends on your
There's
phone.
my silly face emoji I just sent you.
I see that. That was funny. You can't wait. Let me see your silly face on your phone.
It's
Mine
a ghost.
looks totally different.
I figured for white I'd use a ghost.
But
no, all my real smiley emojis are yellow.
Yellow. But you've heard of that though, right?
What?
Like my thumb. Like I don't have.
Yeah. Your thumbs up that you send out is going to be a different color than mine.
Why is that?
I'm trying to see if there's any way to change it.
I don't know if it is, but I don't want to see. Mine's are like yellow or like I guess I'm mixed.
Ah, look at this.
What?
You can change it.
Let me see. Smokey just sent me a black strong arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
if you click on the emoji and hold it down, it gives you all the different color options.
Oh.
But I bet, it's preset based on what your phone has, your profile is.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And is that a bad thing, though? Like, is it off the emojis, but is it a bad this is how I look at it. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not raping anybody. I don't have any people chained up in my garage. I'm not doing anything that could incriminate me. So
in China, that's incriminating.
I live in the U.S. of A.
Mm-hmm.
I am over the legal age to drink alcohol. If I want to have a beer on Sunday.
What about if one day they tell you we don't want it anymore?
If, like I brought up earlier, if America say we want to adopt the same.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Would I still drink this beer?
Yeah. And how much does it mean to you? Because some people are alcoholics. They're going to do it anyway.
Well, I'm not an alcoholic. All right, damn, that's a good question. Let me ask you. Ooh.
Like you're in China, you're allowed to have alcoholic beverages, but if you have too many, that takes away from your score. You can only have it in a celebratory fashion.
All right, me and you both have DOT license, right?
Yes.
We are drivers, and we have to have a certain, I guess, standard in order to keep the jobs that we have.
Yeah.
So if America adopted China's philosophy when it came to this, and they said, listen, every time you buy a Diet Pepsi, it brings down your social score, and you could potentially lose your DOT license.
Yeah.
You gonna stop drinking that?
Probably, yeah.
Really? That seems so messed up.
I mean, it is messed up. I wouldn't want to do that, but what other choice you have?
Your livelihood.
I'd be looking. I mean, if we hit that level, though, I'm looking for a place to move.
When I asked you when you hit the lottery, where are you moving to?
New Zealand.
We going to New Zealand.
Exactly.
Beautiful New Zealand.
Yeah, we'll go hang out with the Samoans and the expats and the former Englishmen and the Australians. Lots of Samoans. I mean, it's a Pacific island, so.
I thought New Zealand's in Australia.
Polynesians. No, it's a island off the coast of New Zealand. I mean, off of coast of Australia.
Huh. How about the wildfires going on in Australia?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy, right? What caused them? I have mosquitoes in here.
Well, I don't think it's much different than the wildfires that go on in California. You have a very dry area that lightning strikes is set off a wildfire, and it can just grow out of control because they don't get a lot of rain there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I don't know. We have it. I kind of feel like we're I'm such a conspiracy theorist person, man, because I feel like none of that stuff's real. You've lived in Georgia your majority of life. You ever seen a wildfire?
I mean, small ones, yeah.
But nothing that's gonna make you evacuate your house.
You think the wildfires in California are fake?
No, not fake, but I'm just saying it doesn't.
What would they be gaining if that were the case?
I'm not saying fake. I'm just saying it seems fake because I don't experience it. I've never experienced an earthquake. I've never experienced a tornado. I've never experienced.
Man, I listened to Joe Rogan talk with someone just the other day about conspiracy theories and theorists and how, you automatically get downgraded immediately if you believe any conspiracy ever, and, you're socially shamed just for believing that a conspiracy ever happened these days, when there are actual conspiracies that go on, that have been going on. I mean, what's the pedophile ring guy that
Jeff Epstein?
Yeah, Epstein.
Oh, I heard a good one about him.
Isn't that a conspiracy that just happened?
Have you seen the new pictures?
Maybe I have. What was it?
They put pictures.
Oh, from his cell?
Cell.
Yeah.
There was 86 jumpsuits in there.
Yeah, what is that?
There was a pin in there. There was a rope hanging. Here's my conspiracy. He's still alive. And we're so focused on how he actually died.
Oh, so you think they put a body double in there?
Well, they've never shown a body.
That's true.
They've never shown a body. And not only that, but Jeffrey Epstein was rich as crap. Bro, I don't think people understand this. Jeffrey Epstein, do your research. This guy had an island specifically made to have sex. All the big, I'm sure Trump,
with underagers.
George.
I've seen a photo of Jeffrey Epstein with Trump. You could say that's just rich people passing and whatever, but
this guy was
make of that what you will.
Yeah, but like you said this guy has an island, and you said with underage people. George Bush traveled to this island 26 times.
Lots of famous people. The Clintons, the Bushes.
Trumps.
Yeah, Trumps. Yeah.
So my thing is, if you're locked up, you have an island where we have the greatest times of our life. Yeah, they're young kids, but it's a good time, which is terrible. But my thing is, if you're doing it, they put him in jail because the legal system caught up with him. So now we caught up with him. But
they had to pinpoint somebody.
Right. So this is what they did. They said, hey, Jeff, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come to you. Look, we're going to plan this death, all right? We're going to put some jumpsuits in here. You still got that island, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So look, we're going to stage a death. We're going to get you out of here. We're going to fly you to the island.
Hey, as long as I don't have to serve time.
10-4, let's go.
All right, we'll do that.
That's the conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, that could easily happen. That makes me think. Do you happen to know if Epstein was part of the Bohemian Club?
100%. Alex Jones said he saw him in the ritual of Moloch.
The owl. Yeah.
Do your research on that, guys.
Oh yeah.
Damn, I'm gonna have to bring that picture up on here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, to get back to what I was saying though, the problem with conspiracy theorists is why it's so easily to shame these people is because there are certain people, not saying Hollywood, but someone like Hollywood, that believes everything is a conspiracy.
Not true.
I didn't say
name
you.
three conspiracies I
somebody
believe
like
in.
you. I don't want to.
Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Can you name? That's all you got. Oh, space ain't real.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
The wildfires in California.
That was a good one.
The NFL is rigged.
Well, that's proven. That's proven, bro.
Proven.
That's proven.
Man.
Dude, there's this clip of Tom Brady and them playing, and there was like a certain amount of time on the clock, and they called a timeout, and they came back and they added more time to the clock. Man, the NFL is rigged.
But you got to see how people like that believe everything's a conspiracy and wants to point out everything's a conspiracy, no matter how stupid it is, they just have to believe that, and they have to put themselves out there. They have to make YouTube videos about it, and you got to believe that discredits people who are actually pointing out real conspiracies.
Right. But what about
Dinosaurs never existed.
yes? Oh Lord, let's go. Let's do it. Look,
That is completely off topic, but that's another one that
talk to him. I gotta pee.
that makes people look ridiculous when people, when there's 99% of all people living on Earth that believe that dinosaurs did in fact exist. They believe that paleontologists have went out and found so much evidence for the fact that dinosaurs do exist. And then you get this one guy who happens to be the same flat earth guy who makes this one video that says dinosaurs never existed. And I know for 100% fact that they never existed. That makes this clown look like an idiot and discredits the people who are actually out there pointing out real conspiracies. What is that guy's name?
Freak. Eric Dubay.
Dubay, yes. Now, when stuff like that happens, man, Eric Dubay, he really. But maybe that's a plant. Maybe that's a conspiracy in itself.
There you go. That's what I'm glad you brought up.
Maybe they plant those idiots out there making all these YouTube videos just to look stupid to discredit the people who come across real conspiracies.
But can you understand where somebody's coming from when they say dinosaurs didn't exist? Do you kind of understand where they're coming from?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I can get that. But I also, I don't understand why you put yourself out there and say, I know for 100% fact that they did not exist. No, you don't know that.
And neither do you.
Exactly. But why go out on a limb and say that you know for 100% fact? Because every time somebody finds a little bit of evidence, it makes you look more stupid.
But I'm using the same logic you're using. You're saying you don't know for a fact that they existed. Neither do you. So every time I come out...
That's not the point, though. Why go out on a limb and say, I know for 100% fact that they didn't exist? I know for 100% fact that space doesn't exist.
Well, why say, I know for 100% fact that dinosaurs did exist?
I didn't say that.
But what if somebody said that?
Well, that's on them. Well, but the point I'm pointing out is that if 99% of the people on Earth believe that person that's saying they know...
Right. Why go against the grain?
Yeah, why go against the grain and put your stuff out there with something you don't know, and you say I do know for 100% fact.
All right, so I'm gonna
just because you came across something that seems to make sense to you.
All right, we're gonna stick on the dinosaurs here for a minute. 9/11 happened. They said it happened. Osama bin Laden, Afghani terrorists, right? When you the first time you heard that, your mom was like, "Man, these Afghanis." You immediately thought
it was Saudi Arabians that actually did it. Yeah.
Whatever the main media story is,
yeah.
When they put it out the day of 9/11, you're like, dang, these people did this. Then you did your own research, and you're like, wait a minute, Tower 7 kind of looks weird, free falling on its own, and then you came to your own conclusion, and you're like, wait, maybe it wasn't this. So,
but I would be a huge idiot if I made a YouTube video saying, I know 100% right now who brought down Tower 7?
You're right.
Because I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know. So I'm not going to go out there and say it. And then when you are debunked, I hate that word debunked because people use it for everything. Because when you come up on a good idea, people just throw that out there like, no, that's been debunked. Like, no, it hasn't. That's just somebody else with another idea. Like, no, it hasn't been debunked. Like, I hate that that's even an internet culture word, is debunked, because now people use it for everything, Snopes can go to hell for all I care. You know Snopes? Yeah. They can go to hell. Bunch of assholes.
Okay.
Because they don't know either. They just have ideas, just like everybody else. Just like the conspiracy theorists have ideas. These people ruin the credibility of people who are finding real information by coming out and saying, no, debunked, or no, I'm debunking the debunking. And then I'm going to debunk the people who try to debunk the debunking.
Smoked out. So let me ask you, are there any conspiracies that you believe in that you say, okay, this just doesn't seem right? Are there any?
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that, Tower 7 is 9/11 happened exactly as they say it did.
What about Kennedy? Did Oswald act alone?
No.
Dinosaurs, real or fake?
I would lean toward real.
Okay. Do you not have you? You know, every time you go to a museum, those aren't real bones.
I know how it works.
Okay.
I know that they find some bones.
You could argue religion is a conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, it could be. Yeah. I mean, if you take the fact that religion is made up as a set of rules and it's used to control people, then yes, it could be a giant conspiracy at the heart of any religion.
I swear, dude, as I'm getting older and older, I really feel like religion was just law before law. Like, before officers could come to your house and say, hey, you committed this crime.
Well, they had to have a reason why they believed the laws were to be. If you go back far enough, when there were no rules, nobody knew what to make of anything, someone had to come along and go, no, I want everybody to live by this set of rules.
Well, you just said it. You just said it was to control people.
Yeah, so people go, why do I need to live by that set of rules? Well, because there's an invisible man in the sky that's watching over us.
And if you don't do these things, you're going to go to hell.
Yeah, so you have to follow the rules that I made up just to please the man in the sky. Now, I'm not saying there's not a God. I believe there's a God.
Do you?
Yes. We've been over that countless times.
Yeah, I know that, but we haven't been putting out clips like we have, and I'm picking them out as we go along here, brother.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that for a minute?
I don't know, man. It's kind of off topic. We could do a whole nother show about it.
Okay, we can.
Because that's a long topic.
We can. I just, that's what I like about doing this, man, because we can talk about the Chinese government. And you said China's a communist.
Yes.
Japan communist?
No.
Okay.
They're capitalists.
They're not communists, right? They're not commies.
Mm-mm.
All right, so I got the rising sun on my arm tattooed. Everybody at work says, oh, you're a commie now. But
they're misinformed.
Japan's not. Are you sure about this?
Let's go with Japan's official. I know they are a capitalist society. Now, if they're an official democracy, we are about to find out. And we will let Google is definitely going to keep track of what I'm searching right here.
Oh, Smokey's going to be getting ads.
What method of government does Japan use?
According to Wikipedia, the government of Japan is a constitutional monarchy in which the power of the emperor is limited and is relegated primarily to ceremonial duties.
So
it's much like England.
So it's not a communist country.
Well, it's a monarchy. They have a government that is more democratically elected, but they also have the monarchy, just like England does, like all of the UK, like Scotland, like Ireland and Canada.
Like a royal family.
Yes, they have a royal family, yes. They have an emperor instead of a king or a queen.
So they're not communists?
No.
All right. Can you agree with me?
No, because you're free when you're in Japan. It's much like America.
Japan basically is. Japan is New York, basically. Mm-hmm. All right. You got to agree with me when I say this, bro. England and all these places that have queens and kings and princes and princesses, is that not the stupidest crap? And
most of them don't have power anymore. Most of them have gone through the Enlightenment and realized how dangerous having a single monarchy, meaning mono, singular power, as in one person controls all the power. And most countries have figured out how dangerous that is to give one single person all the power. Therefore, why do you see the UK not being controlled by a 91-year-old queen?
So, but doesn't she have say-so in something?
Some of it, yes, but not much.
But I think it's weird that you are born to be a royal person. Mm-hmm. Like that's weird to me. Like, you are born into a royal family. You are a royal family.
It's an archaic system that is dying out more and more.
Right. And it's crazy because I'm doing the podcast right now. I'll call you back. It's crazy because when you if you think about a royal family, somebody who's born into, I'm a queen or I'm a king or I'm a prince, you're basically coming into life as better than somebody else. Like, you're a peasant.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Royal bloodline doesn't make any sense because you are an average human just like everyone else.
Right.
but somehow being part of the royal family makes you higher on the totem
That's
pole
so
than everyone else.
Imagine you
It
being
is stupid.
born in America and being like, hey, I can't be Did you know the Queen can't go to jail? Mm-hmm. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know, because she could probably shoot somebody and...
Well, I mean, she would... I mean, like I say, it really doesn't work that way anymore because they have a parliament now, which is their government that basically controls everything. Mm. You know, they have a prime minister, which would be their president.
Right.
You know, but they are, like, all these places with monarchies, you know, are basically going through an enlightenment, and they have figured out. Now, when you leave the power to one single person, you end up places like North Korea. You end up like the Third Reich of Germany.
Cuba, you know? When Castro was...
Yes, exactly.
So, when I just completely lost my train of thought here. Man, what was I about to say? I can't remember, man.
The royal family.
Royal family, we were talking about the Queen. Oh, you don't think it's weird that all these high people are weird looking? Do you remember what the Pope looked like? Not this recent Pope, the Pope before that. That guy looked demonic as crap. And the Queen of England, she looks demonic as crap.
Well, a lot of the royals are inbred.
Is that why they look like that?
I would think so, yeah.
I mean...
Because you think, if you go back far enough, they're only allowed to mate with... royal blood.
That's not true.
So, yeah.
No,
not anymore. But if you go back, it was. So somewhere down their bloodline, there were inbreds.
Gotcha. Because isn't there like the prince married to like a black lady now?
Yeah.
Or she's like mixed?
I don't keep up with the royal family, but yeah, it was a singer, right?
She's cute.
Yeah.
And apparently the new news out now is that they're tired of being in the limelight, so they're gonna move to a totally different place and live a totally different life.
Is this Prince Philip, right? That we're talking about?
Yeah. But man, we spent some time on trash talking, bro.
Yeah, we did.
All right, man.
Let's get in there segments.
Let's go ahead and get into some segments. Let's get into some OMG and some
WTF.
Booyah. All right, you go first, right?
Yeah.
What you got?
Go first,
Smokey, what the Florida?
What the Florida? Just bear with me while I pull it up here.
All right.
I should have been prepared, but I will be prepared in whenever my phone. 3, 2, 1. This one comes from the New York Post.
Oh, Lord.
Florida man gets 90 days in jail for spitting on Trump supporter in a MAGA hat.
Say that again?
Florida man gets 90 days in jail for spitting on Trump supporter in a MAGA hat. I thought this would tie in well to our discussion today.
Okay, go ahead.
Florida man who was caught on a restaurant security camera spitting on a 67-year-old Trump supporter wearing a MAGA hat was sentenced to 90 days in Indian River County Jail, a report said. Democrat, they felt entitled to point that out, that he is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Why can't he be an independent, you know? But Democrat Mathis Apple, spelled AJPLE for some reason.
Okay.
Mathis Apple. I don't even know if that should be backwards, like Apple Mathis.
That's a dope name. It's your boy Apple Mathis.
Yeah. 43 was convicted of battering Robert Youngblood in an attack at Hurricane Grill and Wings in Vero Beach. On October 25th, Apple walked around the restaurant's bar and told Youngblood, "You should go back to Russia, you effing communist."
Wow.
The liberal smacked Youngblood's head and spit on him. He got into his car and drove away. Police later tracked Apple down and arrested him, charging him with battery.
It's battery to spit on somebody? Mm-hmm. If you ask me, I think...
And smacked him on his head, so I guess they
that's
threw
probably
that
the battery.
Yeah.
Man, if you ask...
Apple, who pled no contest, will also serve 12 months probation, pay about $700 in fines and court costs, and another $155 in restitution to Youngblood. So being spit and smacked in the head is worth $155 in Florida.
And 60 days in community
Yes.
service and 30 days in jail.
Yes.
You can understand why he got that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As much as you want to hate Trump,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Well, it's like we say on here, you know, don't believe what we tell you to believe, or we don't tell you. We're not telling you what to believe. Believe
Right.
what you want to believe.
Come up with
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You can support who you want to support. Don't try to force your views on other people.
It's crazy, though, that just by wearing a hat, people want to assault you.
That's been a problem since Trump has been in power.
Here's what's crazy, and I heard this on a podcast. The sales of just red hats, just a hat that's red, has gone down simply because I'm
because they're
serious.
scared. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well,
crazy.
and the people who don't like him don't want to be confused as a supporter. You know,
Right. Like, what if I'm a fan of the Red Sox?
don't wear the hat.
Well, that don't make that's.
Don't they have blue hats though? What about the Chiefs?
What about the Chiefs? What about the
You
Arizona
can't wear
Cardinals?
a Chiefs hat.
What about the old school Falcons? I
Yeah.
can't wear an old school Falcons hat. That's crazy.
UGA, don't wear it.
And mostly,
Oh, I got one on now, don't I?
yeah, but it's predominantly black, so
Yeah.
you're good. And we know you with the brothers.
Yes, exactly.
Man, interesting Florida story. All right, so I have an interesting one from Georgia here.
What's that?
All right, here is my my Georgia. Okay, and I googled Andy Reid being a quarterback, so I have to go
That was my
back.
problem too.
Okay, here we go. All right, this happened in Georgia, and it's gonna come up in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thief steals 400,000 toothpicks.
What's the source for this?
It's only called onlyinyourstate.com. All right, it says 400,000 toothpicks have gone missing from a manufacturer in Athens, Georgia, which is worth about, how much do you think 400,000 toothpicks are?
400,000? $20.
$20?
400,000.
400,000 toothpicks. How much money
Trying
is
to think of how big a box that would be. All right, I'll raise it up to $55.
400,000 400,000 toothpicks have gone missing from a manufacturer in Athens, Georgia, which is worth about $3,000.
No. They give those away.
Right, they're free. 2 employees told the owner they saw another employee selling boxes of toothpicks at a flea market. However, authorities have yet to figure out this case and find. Yeah. What the heck are you doing with 400,000 toothpicks?
Maybe he's got big teeth. I don't know.
Or he's just the biggest pimp from Earth and always got that little toothpick in. You know how,
Did Razor Ramon steal these?
what? Scott Hall.
Man, come on. I thought you was past this point in your life.
Man, and didn't he live in Georgia?
He still does.
Oh, Lord. Razor Ramon and got the toothpicks.
I wonder if he moved back to Florida. I know he was.
He's from Florida, too?
Yeah.
God, that's where he's...
His son is in Florida still, I believe. I know. Maybe this ain't current, but he lived here with DDP, and then he lived in Marietta for a while independently. I don't know if he went back to Florida to live with his son yet or not, but last I heard he was living in Georgia. Might have made a trip out to Athens
and picked up 400,000 toothpicks.
Hey, got appearances to make, man.
Yeah, man.
What good is Scott Hall without the
A toothpick. I feel like people who wear toothpicks are either pimps,
Oh, that was his character at first. He was a Cuban pimp. You know?
yeah, or
Uso machismo.
Cubans, mafia guys,
Yeah.
or your typical black uncle at a barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, he's always got a toothpick in his mouth. Oh,
Exactly.
here's something crazy. Who was it? Being an MMA fan, who was it? Darren Till.
Uh-huh.
He fought his last fight, which he won, with a toothpick in his mouth the entire time.
Really?
He
That's
said,
legal?
well, no, it's not. And if they would have caught him, they would have fined him. But they saw him like spit it out after the fight was over.
Was that lucky or something? What's the
He
point?
said that he doesn't train without a toothpick in it, and he was training in the back before the fight and had a toothpick in, and completely forgot it was in there. I don't know.
When you get hit though, it's gonna puncture your cheek.
Yes, I know.
Huh?
I know.
What if you choke on it?
I know. It's gonna
That
suck.
doesn't- Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that random
Yeah.
stat out there about toothpick. All right, Smoke Dog, let's get into some Explain
Explain this.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm way behind today. I just keep losing
You
my
good?
next segment.
Quick question. Where does that picture pop up at?
It'll be on Messenger.
On the screen, though, where's that picture pop up?
Oh,
Bing! All right.
right here. And
Wow.
it may not be up yet.
I've already
because-
got it.
You already got it up on screen?
Yeah, okay. This guy.
Here we go.
This is Matthew McConaughey?
This is Matthew McConaughey.
I gotta say, this might be one of the best looking mugshots we've had to date.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it looks like
He looked like, in this picture, he could have played the Joker easily.
Did he play the Joker?
No, he never has.
But this is definitely a
Wouldn't that be great, though? You mean, you can see the face paint on him right there.
100%.
Like, look at this dude right here.
This is the headshot for him trying to play the Joker.
Exactly. All right. You got any ideas before I tell you what it is?
It's gotta be alcohol. He was drunk.
Drunk?
He was drunk. Am I right?
What do you think he was doing while he was drunk?
Probably yelling or being nude. Something of that nature.
Did you? All right. Well, it's Matthew McConaughey, and I hear he's well endowed.
All right, so I got that right. Did I get the drunk part right?
Well, I'll read this out to you. It's very close.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey's reputation for having a good time certainly wasn't diminished in the slightest by his grinning 1999 arrest photo. The actor who was caught playing the bongos naked
I knew it.
and arrested for suspected marijuana possession, drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest.
When they say drug paraphernalia, all he had was a bowl on him, man. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
paraphernalia.
Well, and any way they can add an extra charge on 'em.
They gonna get him.
I mean, you could have a Coke can in your car, and if you had some marijuana, they'd be like, well, that's paraphernalia, too.
An old hippie that I used to smoke with, we used to call him Jesus back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked just like Jesus. He told me, if you're ever gonna you smoke out of anything, smoke out of an apple, because you can eat that apple.
That's what Willie Nelson would do.
Of course.
Yeah.
By the way, Willie Nelson's the only person to ever smoke Snoop Dogg out.
Yeah,
True story.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Jesus, could you imagine the stuff he's got? He has his own marijuana farm.
Isn't it weird Tommy Chong went to prison for selling bongs?
Shipping to a state that didn't allow it, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's illegal, but it's Tommy Chong, man. There's just some people you don't arrest for things.
They were trying. They set him up, too.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't just by accident they happened to catch him. They actually had an undercover claimed to be from one of the prohibited states, and that would keep calling him and calling him and calling him and persuaded him into finally sending a shipment to him.
Do you think he knew it was illegal to do that?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he says that too. Like, he knew which states you couldn't play, but the guy just kept begging and begging until finally
Hey, man,
he
I'll-
sent him a shipment of bowls.
Hey,
and-
man, I'll send you. All right, man. I'll send you a few, man.
All right, man. Just don't tell the police, man, okay?
Okay, man. All right, man.
All right.
Anything else for this Explain This?
No, I will tell you that his later statement to Playboy magazine, he said, "What's wrong with beating on your drums in your birthday suit?"
Ah, that's epic. That's epic. And that's how you end the podcast
It
right
is.
there. Guys, thank y'all so much for checking out the 53rd episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. Please make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button.
Hit the thumbs up. That is the like button. But please do both of those. That'll help us out a lot. Be sure to turn the bell on so you know right when we put one of these out and you can watch it right away. That really helps us in the algorithm. And for God's sake, leave us a comment.
I was waiting on that.
Oh, and even if you don't like us, hit the thumbs down.
Please.
That helps us out.
We'll take all that.
Yes.
With that being said, guys, my name is Behringer, Hollywood 6.
I am Larry, Smokey, Ramirez, Cowan.
And we are over and out.
Deuces.